fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. Can we go MIA somewhere far from this bullshit? Let's fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. I don't care where we go, as long as so far, so far, so far from here. It's about time I took a little trip.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jamal back with another episode of Get It Together with Big Maul, starring me, your host, Big Maul, Molly B, Jay, whatever it is that you call me. We back, baby. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend and did all the great things that you were supposed to do. Hope you tapped into a greater version of yourself and are continuously tapping into a greater version of yourself. Me, I had a great week. I went to work. Got in a couple of 2-day workouts in during the week. I want to say I think it was 2 times uh the past week that I was able to go to the gym twice in a day. So feeling real good about that. And I went on my run Saturday. I was very sore from the run. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a great leg day week. Monday and Thursday are my leg days. So I was sore when I woke up Saturday morning. My thighs and everything were sore. So, I made sure I got a good stretch in before I ran. And I had to push through it. I got to be honest. I had to push through it because, like I said, my legs were just so sore. Um, and I still ran my 3 miles, but I definitely stopped. I stopped like maybe 3 times, 4 times, 3 or 4 times. I had to just stop and walk for like a quick second and, just get myself together. I had to tell myself to keep going and push through. And I was able to push through. So it was cool. The weather was nice. It was breezy. It was windy, but it felt good. So, and I'm glad I stuck with it and actually saw it through instead of like, I guess, turning around and just going back home or even walking the rest of the way. I was able to still just get through it, man. Sometimes it's like that. I did read something that says sometimes when you go running, you'll feel like on top of the world. It'll be a great run, and you'll be so, 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 so proud of yourself. And there's such things called a runner's high, which I've felt that when you feel like you can't stop running. You feel like you can't stop running. And even when you finish your target time and your miles and all of that stuff, you feel like you can even do more. So I've definitely experienced that. And then they also talked about, sometimes you have runs that aren't as good. Or they feel hard. They feel like it's your first time running. And it's like that. You just gotta take the good and the bad and you gotta still complete the mission and try to make it an enjoyable experience anyway and just be happy that you're moving your body. And I remembered that and carried it through. So it's all good, man. But anyway, so let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Have you ever given somebody a second chance and you regretted giving them a second chance? Or have you ever given someone a second chance and you were glad that you gave them a second chance? I feel like second chances are very, very tricky. They are very risky. I'm 32 years old. I have definitely given people more than a second chance when I should not have. And I've given people a second chance when I should have, and was glad I did. It's hard sometimes to actually gauge who and when, if necessary, to give somebody a second chance. But I feel like you have to look at the magnitude of what took place for you to end up going into a situation where you gotta leave a person alone or whatever the case is. Because sometimes you can't make it back from certain things. Sometimes people burn a bridge and there is no rebuilding that bridge. It depends on what was said and what was done and the emotions felt, how deep it was. You know what I'm saying? Because when someone stabs you in the back, as far as doing something that's just so dirty to the point where you're like, what? You would really do this to me? Like if someone steals from you. And I'm talking about people that you care about, friends, family, whatever, and they steal from you. And You like, dude, wow. So you, whether it's money or if it's like a watch or whatever item, they steal from you, and you like, well, dang, it's like that. I don't feel like I personally, I can't forgive you if you steal from me because I work hard for everything. And if you know me, if you really know me, and then you know that I work hard, and I would also give you the shirt off of my back. If I had to, I would give you the last dollar bill in my wallet if you needed it. Even though I needed it, I would give it to you. So if you steal from me, then I can't give you a second chance. I can't. Now, if you lie to me, it depends on what the lie is. Um, if you lie to me about, telling me that you've been working and that's why we haven't been able to spend time together or link up or talk and all this stuff. And then I found out you haven't been working, and I actually like, well, you don't even have a job. Like, why did you lie to me and tell me that you were working and you were just busy with your job? And if the person says, well, they were just insecure and they were ashamed and embarrassed that they got fired and couldn't find a job and were broke, all of that stuff, and they just didn't want to be around you or around people, and it's no offense to you, I would understand that. I'm not going to get mad at that. I would just say, you can tell me, you can talk to me about anything. There's no need to be embarrassed because we've all lost jobs before. We've all been in situations where we like, man, I got to get hired somewhere. I got to make some money. I got bills to pay. I got to take care of myself. I got the family to take care of, et cetera, et cetera. So I would understand that. But if you trying to go behind my back and try to like talk to my girl or something like that, or if we're working at the same job and you trying to take my position, you trying to upcut me, yeah, I can't forgive that. I can't forgive that. I even feel like it's some things that you can say, uh, that I don't know. I'm not sure if it's unforgivable. It just depends. Depends on what you say. If you tell me that, if you calling me out and saying, I go around and I do certain things and I look stupid, I can forgive that. I can forgive that because it was the heat of the moment. Um, I would ask you, do you think I'm stupid? Like what? Like why would you say that? We got to have a conversation about it. Always 100%. We got to have a conversation. But I'm not going to sit here and act like that is the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? But if you sit here and you tell me something like you wish I was dead, or um I'm not good to be around you, like I'm holding you down, holding you back, and it's embarrassing to be seen with me because of how I look or how I act and my character and all of that stuff. If you talking to other people about me, stuff like that, no, you gotta stay over there because that's giving jealous vibes. That's giving hater vibes. You feel what I'm saying? But regardless, you gotta have a conversation with somebody before you decide to give them a second chance because you need clarity. And if they're not trying to even have a conversation with you, oh yeah, then move on. There's no giving them a second chance. I've had friends where I've given them a second chance and I regretted it dang near almost instantly. Well, I won't say instantly, but I've forgiven people, and then they showed me like a month after that, like, man, you should have just left them alone, Jamal. You should have just left them alone, left them right where they had you messed up at. But you know, we see the good in people, even if they don't really see the good in themselves or realize it. And our biggest problem, I feel like, is that we look for us in other people. Just in case y'all didn't hear that, we sometimes look for us in other people, meaning we know how we are. We're generous, we're kind, we're respectful, we're loving, we're all this, and we look for that. We look for our version of us in other people, and that's not the case all the time because we all come from different backgrounds. We come from different struggles. We all going through different things. So our mindsets may not be the same, and we may not operate the same. So sometimes we look, but sometimes we look for that in other people, and then when we feel like we found it, we're like, oh yeah, come on, come here, buddy. Now we're gonna be best pals forever. No, 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 no. You have to. I was gonna say not hold people on a pedestal. I mean, on a pedestal, but definitely not hold no one on a pedestal, but I feel like we just hold people to such a high standard that when they let us down, we like, wow, that's how, wow, that's how you really are. No, we got to handle people exactly how they are. I don't feel like you should have expectations that are through the roof for people, for anybody, because we're only human, right? We're going to do things that we regret. We're going to say things that we regret. We're going to fall short. And that's just life. Everyone does, including you, including me. We fall short sometimes where we are not perfect. We have all said and done things that we regret. We have hurt people's feelings before, okay? That's that's life. But when we hold people to such high expectations and they don't meet them, it's going to be a problem. So I suggest to you, you have to deal with people how they are, how they come to you. You know, if they come to you with good energy, there's positive vibes, and you let time run its course. If you befriend somebody and they're genuine, they're showing up, they're communicating with you, and not just what they are doing for you, it's how they're living their lives for themselves. Are they showing up for themselves? Are they being positive human beings? Are they working towards something? You know what I'm saying? Do they care about how they look and what they say and all of those things? Those are the people that you should be beside and befriend and all of that stuff. And like I said, time will tell if people's words will match their actions. And sometimes it's great. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. And you see that people be on BS. I'm just I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes people are really on BS. I have done the forgiving and let's be best friends again because remember how it used to be. Remember how we used to hang out. Remember da da da. And then it's like after a month or two, now we back going down the other road again. You don't be hitting me up. You don't never be supporting me. You been acting that or this way. And you been in it. I should have left you alone. And sometimes you can see the jealousy in somebody's eyes. You can and feel it. You can hear it in their tone. Look at their body language when you around them. Don't ignore these signs. Don't ignore it. When people can't look you in the eye and they're shifting away, sometimes that's not because they're nervous around people. Sometimes it's they don't really care for you. They can't look you in the eyes. They're jealous of you. They're hating on you. And they may even want your life. They want to be accepted and feel good about themselves and have people around them that's just like loving them the same way you do, the same way that you have, all of those things. And then the body language is like when they're around you, they just seem kind of just like, I don't know, like just closed off. It's real cold. You can feel the energy and you can hear it in their tone. If they're not congratulating you and supporting you and hyping you up and you're telling them about things that you're doing and you're just happy to share it with them and they're just not giving you the reaction of like, I'm proud of you, keep doing your thing. It's just like a nonchalant type of vibe that they're giving off. Yeah, they're not really for you. You gotta pay attention to those cues and not ignore them just because you hold them in high regards and you love them and you expect them to love you back because you love them. And that does and then yeah, it hurts, but that's not the way it is. That's not the way it is. It's not gonna ever be like that all of the time. We just we just have high expectations for people. And honestly, I don't think it's fair to them. And maybe that is a hard take. That's a hard take, possibly. But I don't feel like it's their fault to hold them to such high expectations. Because like I said, people fall short. Sometimes people trip up. Sometimes people just mess up. Sometimes. But like I said, sometimes it's forgivable. Sometimes it ain't. But forgive yourself for even maybe being blinded and not realizing that there were signs that you could have picked up on and made a decision from. Sometimes you gotta forgive yourself for even just being so upset and so irate that you will feel betrayed. You may have said things that you know aren't you, but you said it out of anger and your emotions were just through the roof. So you were just saying anything because you were so hurt and you wanted them to feel hurt. Forgive yourself for that. Because now they're taking you out of character. Now you just matching the energy. We're not doing that over here. So you gotta forgive yourself first and foremost. And then secondly, you know, forgive them. For they know not what they do. But at the same time, you can forgive somebody and still choose to move on. You can wish them well, you can pray for them from a distance, and you don't have to deal with them ever again. But that's up to you. Like I said, that's just when you have to look at the magnitude of what has happened. Is that damage irreversible or not? You know what I'm saying? Will a conversation fix this? Will time help heal this between us? Or will I hate you for the rest of my life? Will I just not want to have anything to do with you for the rest of my life? Come on now. Think about it. But you know what I often advise to everybody is just, seek God and pray for him to give you, just the eye of the discernment, that feeling of discernment, and to be able to pick up on people's energy. That we call it the gut feeling or the intuition. Where do you think that comes from? That's discernment. That comes from God. Those are warning signs. And we ignored them. But God allows things to keep happening until we stop ignoring them and we make a move. So whenever next time you think God is punishing you, why is he letting this keep happening to me? No, you allowing it to happen to you. And God is just sitting there like, well, you ain't making a move. You're not making a move. What you gonna do? You see it. You see it. You know this ain't right. But you allowing it. You letting it go on. So okay, you gonna get tired of that pain eventually. That's what I feel like God be saying. But it's all up to you how you handle the situation and the magnitude of the situation. I can't stress that enough. Um, but it sucks. It sucks a lot. So second chances, it all just depends, man. Only you know if you can be able to deal with that. And if you know that person well, only you know if that person is going to truly change or not. Just look at how they handle other people when they're mad and when they're going through something. Just look at it. Watch them. Watch what they say. And ask yourself, well, if he's saying that about such and such, or if she's saying that about such and such, and they're blood related, and we just, like best friends or whatever, I wonder what they say about me when I'm not around. Gotta be careful. You definitely gotta be careful. So, yeah, second chances. Yeah, it just all depends. Y'all be safe though, for real. And we have come to another end of an episode of Get It Together with Big Maul. Thank you for listening as always. Okay? Thank y'all for sharing, liking, subscribing, and following and reposting and doing all of that stuff. I appreciate y'all, man. I don't want people to think that I live for the cheers and applause. Because I do not. Because if you live by those things, then you will die by the silence or the boos or the trash being thrown. So you take the good and you be grateful for it. And if you get people that's hating and saying different things in a negative light, pray for them, change their heart, for them to see what the others see, to see what you see what the Lord sees. So, um, but yeah. So I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. Y'all are my family from across the world, the whole world. Follow me on every social media platform at Jamal Butler. Um, Holla at me, inbox me. And yeah, this week, man, if you're thinking about giving somebody a second chance, really think about it and really examine what even took place for you guys to get to this point and then also have that conversation. Pray for discernment. Okay, y'all be safe out there. Protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Protect your heart, protect your energy. Stay rooted and covered in prayer. So enjoy your week. Don't let it be mundane. Get up off your butt, go work out, drink your water, move your body, be positive, love yourself, pray, meditate, get down, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I will catch y'all next time. Thank you once again. I will holler at y'all. Peace.